How you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today, I'm looking at Defenders number 33. This is 25 cents. Uh, I'm gonna say 74. That's my guess, and I'm sticking with it. So here we got the Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Nighthawk. They're in the Defenders. That's also Valkyrie, and they're fighting the ridiculous Headsmen. Look at these villains. They got like different size heads and stuff like that. This is just pure schlock, and I just think it's fun. Okay, we got Steve Gerber. He created Howard the Duck. Sal Buscema's doing the layouts. Another one of like I keep saying, a Marvel workhorse that just took comics as a job, didn't take it too seriously. And then Jim Mooney doing the finished art. And I gotta say, I'm becoming a fan more and more of Jim Mooney as I look at through his stuff. He did that Ghost Rider with the creepy kid. Annette K. Letterer, Phil R, which is Rachelson, and Marv Wolfman, editor. So let's look at 1975. What did I say? I forget what I said. 74. So here we have the Defenders. We got Nighthawk, we got Valkyrie, we got the Hulk, we got Doctor Strange, and here is the Headmen, and that's Ruby Tuesday. What is this guy's name? That's gonna drive me nuts. Gorilla Man, Shrunken Bones, and this deer is Chando the Mystic, but his brain has been transformed into a pet deer that Hulk named Bambi. No, I'm not taking drugs, but maybe Steve Gerber was. My hands are actually somewhat clean today. Here's my horrible little wounds going away. So here's Bambi doing what Bambi does, being filled with rage because Chando the Mystic's mental abilities have been transferred into the mind of Bambi. And this guy captured Nighthawk and then transferred his brain, somebody else's brain, into his body. Here's Chando the Mystic in his regular body. Shrunken head, Gorilla Man. They're just terrible. And now he's, I forget the guy's name, but one of their minions. Now, at this moment, you're Nighthawk. So he switched brains. And there's Hulk running around with his pet. Hulk is kind of has this like innocence with animals and stuff like that. So, you know. And then, of course, Nighthawk used his magic power that he got when he got the new brain. So this is somebody else pretending to be Nighthawk. Took them all by surprise, and even though Doctor Strange. So, and then here comes Bambi. Just ridiculous comic. Amazing offer. Look at that. Steve Gerber, he wrote a great comic called Hard Time. It was about serving in jail. That was awesome. And it unfortunately got canceled, and they just rushed the comic. I wish they finished it. So Doctor Strange, using the Eye of Agamotto, learns all the truth and, sorting everything out brain-wise. So he takes, transfers their brains properly and then puts Chando into Bambi. So Hulk is whatever. Hulk is upset because look at nothing worse than an angry pet deer, And now here the Defenders are going off defending. And they knew that when they arrived at the Headman's Refuge, the villains didn't get the but what they didn't know was how. So they want to get their powers back. So Ruby, so now they, a mystic. She, that's Ruby Tuesday. Her power is her head is just like this pliant blob of like red silly putty, and she could like will it to do anything. So she turned it into a regular head for a minute. Then she exploded her head. It took them all by surprise, knocked them out. Because that's the Hulk, and then she's using, morphing her head into like a cart to wield the Hulk. It's just ridiculous. The Defenders is just so silly. He had Bambi, Thud. He's all pissed off because he can't escape. And now they're going to do surgery on them all. Encephalotransmogrifiers, Jerry. What? Designed to perform a subtle operations in the subject's thought patterns. When the process of completed, they simply see things more our way. So they're brainwashing machines. And here they are. What's going on here? I don't even know. What's this subplot? What's Sissy? Well, look, we're not going to get mugged in the middle. What's wrong? Behind you, monster comes out. And, Fishman are coming to grab him. The guy wanted to get a little bit of lovey-dovey on the boat. It's what Stanley thinks he looks like, I guess. Yeah, the biggest rock event of the decade. Send for it. It's called Reflections of a Rock Hero. So here you go. You can get this album cassette or 8-track. Custom Vans. I mean, this is total 70s. Custom Vans. Look at that. Wow, get some karate. Giant Size Life karate practice dummy for 99 cents. So these creatures from this lagoon pull them in, and then they fly away. They're space aliens. So wait do you see their name? It's ridiculous. So I think Nighthawk is free of their control, and he's going along with them at this point. And there's Shrunken Head. Chondo, allow me to introduce Ruby, our new addition. Oh, nice to meet you. You're that is, the most of you is very attractive. Yeah, so her body is hot, but her face. Thank you. I find your body intriguing. Please allow this expression of my wish that we grow to become close associates. So here they're planning their strategies. So I knew this was coming in here. I'm still blank, but I gotta say, so he's going along with it. Well, Doctor Strange does magic tricks. He'll be fun at parties and bars, and Val the girl has a flying horse. If we need quick cash, we can rent it county fast. No, I've never displayed a sense of humor before, Mystic, and now is hardly the time. So he's trying to bluff his way through it, and he's not doing a good job. Oh, pipe down. I'm delighted. So Ruby Tuesday's got a crush on Nighthawk, in that dreamy Kyle Richmond body. And they don't know that Chondo's trapped in the deer. So look at her. Just cheesy, the headman. Chondo breaks 3 and gets attacked by this creature. And I don't know what's going on here. Oh, they're all trapped and being held hostages by the space aliens. Here's the Defender's dialogue. This is the Badoon. The Badoon fought the Guardians. Oh, here's the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's Charlie 27. That's Martinek. The Badoons were the bad guys that conquered the solar system in the future that the Guardians of the Galaxy exist. Remember, the Guardians of the Galaxy, according to the comics, the original team, were 1,000 years from the future, and they were genetically enhanced to exist on the planets. So there you go. I just want to look at the names. Bruce Canwell, I don't know who that is. The anonymous letter writer somewhere in the world. Mark Dooley, I don't know any of these people. Okay, so I just want to see. Here's the Guardians of the Galaxy again. Crazy magazine. Oh, this was cool. Superman vs. Spider-Man. That was pretty cool. 16 muscle building courses. Everybody got muscles, Vans, 70s. 70s was so much fun. Here's Chondo the Mystic fooming in, and I guess they're waking everybody up, and they put Doctor Strange puts Mystic mittens on the Hulk, and because we came to this place for a reason, Emerald One, and we came in peace. Why were we attacked? What is your purpose? Mr. Dr. Arthur Nagin, and it's no matter. You're unharmed and free to go. Not without Nighthawk's brain. So Ruby Tuesday does this. She morphs in tentacles, grabs him, and chick fight over here. She pulls the sword out of her hand, and Gorilla Man then attacks her, and Hulk, even with the mittens on, he could still bash Gorilla Man. Morrow here. Get Alt 18. Life-size movable hang-ups. That's pretty cool. So Ruby Tuesday's using her gross tentacles to slap around Doctor Strange, and whomp. Note the entire structure, every nail, every board, every joint has been ruptured. It shakes, it rattles, and finally unfolds. So the Greenskins wrecked this man's house back at Defenders 21. So I guess this is a recurring, like the Cabbage Man in The Last Airbender. So the dust settles, he makes a force field, and there's Nighthawk's brain just in a jar, because that won't get diseased or anything. Nighthawk flies away with his brain, so I guess he was somebody else's brain in Nighthawk's body. And here comes the Headman. She splooges at him, bloop, bloop, and everybody's covered in her splooge. And here we go, they're running away. Nighthawk's flying away with the brain. He gets captured by Nebulon, the Nebula Man, the Celestial Man. Oh, they didn't mention the aliens. They were the Lubdulalites. They were just horrible. Everything about this comic is horrible. The Fawn Unleashed, the little bald man of the meteorite, the menace of the celestial mind control, the bozo syndrome, and more. And the weird tale we call a mind is a terrible thing to get wasted. So, as you can see, Steve Gerber was a, he kind of like was a contrarian. You gave him an assignment, and he kind of just, I don't know. I kind of liked it in Howard the Duck because it was fitting, but he always just like kind of like made fun of whatever he was doing. So I think he just made this terrible on purpose. So the Defenders, like I bought the whole run. I mentioned before that I dated a woman who owned a comic book store. One of the things she gave me is like probably about 3/4 of the Defenders comics. At least the earlier ones, and the later ones I was able to buy. And, oh man, they're just awful. She said she can't give them away in her store. She was glad to get rid of them. And these are in really, really good condition. But the really early Defenders were awesome. But then this Steve Gerber, he just, I don't know. He just must have been just like some dope smoking hippie that just was like messing around, because I don't know. They were imaginative, but they were kind of hokey. And then he had that whole elf with a gun. He just showed up, and the elf had a gun, and he would shoot pedestrians. And then Steve Gerber got fired from the Defenders. And everybody was like, well, what's with the elf with the gun? It's been running around for 2 years. So the next writer just had the elf with the gun run into traffic and got hit by a car. And that was it. Yeah, the Defenders were kind of in their own little weird corner of the Marvel Universe. But I am going to do the very first Defenders comic to show you how fun it really was. And I want to do a later Defenders comic because there's something special in it that I want to show. But here you go. This is Marvel's Defenders. I just wanted to show this because I keep saying, like, in the 70s and 80s, Marvel was firing, on all cylinders. But there was a couple of duds, and Defenders was definitely one of them. But there you go. I just bought this for the sake of completionist, and I don't know, I guess little nostalgia, because I did have some Defenders comics as a kid. But there you go. It's not a recommend unless you're really, really a hardcore Marvel fan. There you go. So this is a showcase of a comic that it's not the best, but it's just so hokey. I had to show it. When I was going through my comic collection and saw this cover, I was like, oh man, this is just goofy. There you go. That's the Defenders 33. Shrunken Head, Gorilla Man, and Ruby Tuesday, and then Chando the Mystic trapped in the body of Bambi the fawn. It's just silly. All right, bye bye. Thanks a lot.